It is now a privilege to bring to the stage your first guest mentor of GoPro Recruiting Mastery 2016. I've known this individual for a long time, and I was blessed to just be able to meet him backstage about an hour and a half ago. His story is extraordinary for our profession. He's an amazing individual. He graduated from the University of Georgia. He's a Georgia Bulldog, good old Georgia boy. There you go. He was actually in Atlanta after he graduated from college. He was getting ready to go through a master's program at Georgia State University in Atlanta. And he said, I need to probably earn some extra money while I'm studying. So he was going through the paper looking for a job. Here was his criteria. I want to see if I can find a job close to my apartment. It was a geographic decision. Just whatever it is, don't care, make some money, study my master's process. He responded to an ad, got hired as an entry-level business analyst at a small company in Atlanta. It was a financial services company, just getting going. Of course, it happened to be, and he didn't realize how dramatically this would impact his life, it was a direct sales company, what became truly a titan in our industry, a little company called L. Williams. And he met Art and then grew up through that company. In fact, he wanted to just find a job for 2 or 3 years because he knew with his master's he'd go do other things. And when I talked to him backstage, he says, that's the funny thing. You got plans, just tell God, and he'll just laugh at you. Instead of 2 or 3 years, he spent 34 years there through its magical ride. He became a VP of marketing, then an executive VP. In 1990, Citigroup acquired it, and it became Primerica. It went on to become a multi-billion-dollar operation. In 1995, he was made the president. In the year 2000, he became the co-CEO. And he was part of the stewardship of that through the financial collapse of 2007 and 8, where they were able to survive and be successful. And in 2010, they were able to execute a strategy to break back away from Citigroup and go public. Their IPO in 2010 was the second most successful IPO in 2010 behind only Tesla. And in 2015, he did not, as he tells you, retire. He made the decision to rewire his life. He's now the leadership editor for Success Magazine. Last year published his first book, Real Leadership. Ladies and gentlemen, what an extraordinary way to kick off GoPro Recruiting Mastery 2016. Let's do it the right way, our way. Get on your feet and bring to the stage Mr. John Addison.
Thank you so much. Good evening, everyone. It's awesome to be here with you tonight. What a great crowd. And I love the way Eric started the event, talking about working with each of you to be the best you can be. See, look, you're in a crowd for the next 3 days. But the reason you're in a crowd is so you can go home and separate yourself from the crowd, where you can go out and chart the own course of your life. In the introduction, they said I went to the University of Georgia. You can tell this is an authentic Georgia accent. I was a kid born on Route 2 Brown Bridge Road, Covington, Georgia. There was nothing in my background that said I was going to be CEO of a company, that said I was going to lead a successful IPO, that said I was going to accomplish the things in my life that happened. I'm here to tell you, the great thing about this industry is people that the world tells they're average and ordinary can go out and achieve extraordinary things, that you can live your life on your terms, that you can make your own decisions, that you don't have to spend your life in a job, just over broke, working for a BOSS, which is double SOB spelled backwards, that you can control your life. You can take charge of your life. It's an honor to speak with you this evening. And in my time with you, I want to talk to you about two simple topics. Look, you're going to learn a lot of how-to, but how-to is no good without why-to. See, you can know everything there is to know, but if you're not burning inside, you're never going to make it in life. You can only control two things. You can't control your kids. Lord knows I know that. You can't control the weather. You can't control the economy. You can't control the government. You can't control so many things you're going to have to deal with. You can control two things: your attitude, how you think, and your activity, what you do. That in life, you got to have the right thinking, and you got to do the right things over and over and over again to succeed. You know, when I rewired in 2015, my dear friend Stuart Johnson, who's backstage and is one of my best friends on the face of the planet and owns Success Magazine, I agreed to work with him and become leadership editor of Success Magazine. And I wrote a book at that time called Real Leadership that came out in March. It was a New York Times and Wall Street Journal and USA Today bestseller, which still stuns me that anyone would, want to read the book written by a kid from Route 2 Brownbridge Road, Covington, Georgia. But what I share in that book are the principles I learned. How you can have everything stacked against you, but you win anyway. See, life is about paying a price. Look, you're going to pay a price. For most people, that price is having too much month at the end of the money. Robbing MasterCard to pay Visa. Always being one paycheck from disaster. Always making excuses on why they can't do something. You're going to pay a price. A lot of people say, I'm not willing to pay the price it takes to win. Well, I'm here to tell you, you're going to pay a price. Why not pay the price that results in living the life you were destined to live? See, you got to think bigger. You got to see yourself as bigger. You got to dream bigger. If you're big enough for your dreams aren't big enough for you. If the negative cynics in your life don't laugh at what you tell them you're going to do, then you're not thinking big enough. Big success starts with big thinking. You got to get up every day and get after it. Attack the day. Look, I'm not great at long-range planning. Addison starts with ADD. I am attention deficit disordered on steroids. But what I know how to do is get up in the morning and get after it. I know how to make today my masterpiece. I learned years ago, my dad told me years ago, to always say every day, I will do today what others don't, so I'll have tomorrow what others won't. You have got to be a daily goal setter, a daily goal hitter, and get after it. So my first question for you is, how do you think? Who do you give the keys to your brain to? Who do you allow to control what goes on in here? Everybody now stares at their phones all day long. I live in an airport. People have earbuds in, staring at an object in front of them, not talking to anyone around them, staring at a phone. Now we have access to so much information, it's unbelievable. is amazing. When I was in college, I had to know the Dewey Decimal System to be able to look things up in the library. Now you can just, there's the answer. But it is also a giant sewage pipe into your brain. It is also, in data processing, the term is garbage in, garbage out. With the brain, it's garbage in, garbage stays. Who do you allow to control your thinking? Napoleon Hill said, thoughts are things. Well, you're in the team building business. John Addison said, if your thinking is stinking, your team is shrinking. You've got to control what goes on here, how you allow the words you say. When you talk to your people, are they words that lift up or tear down? See, you've got to be the change you want to see in the people around you. You're not a human being. You're a human becoming. Every day, you are becoming something. Is it better or is it worse? You don't need to go through life. You need to grow through life. In 2015, I went back to my 40th high school reunion. Now, I know that you go, John, I can't believe 40 years. I mean, I'll be 60 next year. And I went back to that reunion, and I was amazed at how old those people were. Most of them peaked in high school. It's been a spiral downhill for 40 years. The definition of when you get old is the day you talk more about what you did than what you're gonna do. See, always be anticipating. Always be looking forward. Always be stretching your horizon. I'm just telling you, in life there's the power of association and there's a power of disassociation. I tell people all the time, if you can't change the people around you, you need to change the people around you. Surround yourself in your life with people who energize you, who push you up, who make you better. Every one of us knows at least one, most of us more than one, person in our life that if we make the mistake of saying, how are you doing? You wish you could stuff the words back in your mouth, because they're going to share with you how they're doing, and you're just going to start draining and sinking. You got to get away from those people. If positive people shared their feelings as readily as negative people do, what an amazing world we would have. I mean, you surround yourself with people who build your energy. I believe in business, in this business, the most important thing is momentum. You're either building it or you're losing it. The only way you can coast is downhill. Momentum is critical. And you build that by building energy and enthusiasm. That's the job of the leader, is to create the environment, to be the thermostat, not the thermometer. Change the temperature, not measure it. And you have to build energy. Well, if your energy's gone, you can't build energy. You got to surround yourself with people who push you up, who make you better, who challenge you. And spend your life around those kind of people. That's the only way that you're going to have the energy to finish the drill. This is a marathon. It's not a sprint. Get rich quick don't exist outside of the lottery. This isn't the Powerball. This isn't buying a ticket and going, please, please, please let those numbers come up. You got to pay the price. And to pay the price, you've got to have the energy to do that. So you're thinking, how you think, and then what you do. See, look, in life, you got activity. Your expectations are critical. You've got to decide that you're going to get after it. Now, decide ends with decide. Like suicide and homicide. All of those mean the death of something. That's what a real decision is. But see, for most people, they spend their whole life trying different things. I'll try this for a little bit. If that don't work out, I'll try that for a little bit. They stick their toe in the water of life everywhere. If you want to be somebody that wins, you got to jump in the water. You can't be okay, let me go down the steps. It's a little bit cold. You got to get in and get after it. Life's direction starts with decisions. You got to plant your feet and you got to fight. And you're going to win. See, let me tell you what. Wherever you're at right now, you're in the right place at the right time. Somebody is winning. Now, for most people, they're always in the right place at the right time with the wrong thinking. And they always just miss it. They always just miss the next great opportunity. See, you've got to pay the price. Look, I believe in life, I hate to say this, but there's results and there's bull. Okay? People that get things done get results. Most people make excuses. There's always a reason. My upline's an idiot. My downlines are incompetent. Whatever it is in life, there's always an excuse. Excuses are the easiest thing to find in life. But what you got to do is go get after it and get the results. Sir Winston Churchill, one of my heroes that I'm a member of the Churchill International Society, and one of his quotes was, during the early days of the war, when things were going bad, and all of his generals would show up with one excuse after another on why they lost a battle. And they would all say, but we're doing our best. And one of his famous quotes is, sometimes your best is not good enough. You have to do what's necessary. And that's the way it is in life. It's not, you got to decide whether this is a phase of your life or a way of life. Are you willing to pay the price? And so my challenge to you is, wherever you're at, whatever company, whatever business, if there's an incentive running, win it. If there's a contest trip going on right now, win it. Make a decision. See, I've known for you, a lot of people go, watch my smoke, I'm in, it's going to be great, I'm going to win this. 2 weeks later, well, this happened, that happened. Life is going to give you reasons to not win. They just jump up every day. Fight through it and seize your future. decide I'm going to chart my course. I'm going to seize my destiny. It's going to be, I'm going to set the pace. I'm going to set the tone. My life will be determined by me. Let me tell you what. This is the greatest lesson I spoke recently to the seniors at the University of Georgia. And I said, the thing is, you head out in life now. Your parents always told you don't play in traffic. Well, I'm telling you, you better go play in traffic. You got to get in the middle of it. You got to make things happen. You got to be the cause of your success. Nobody's going to give you a roadmap. Nobody's going to give you the answer to the test. It's a day-by-day journey. Success is not a destination. It's a journey. The fun is along the way. And you got to get happy now. You know, I tell people all the time, I live in an airport. And so people see me all the time and they go, something great must have happened in your life today. Because, you know, I mean, if you travel as much as I do, everybody's in the line with their roller bag looking like death warmed over. And I smile. Some of the best training I could give you. You're in the people attraction business. Smile. Life ain't that bad. Most of us, you know, we got up today, feet worked, hit the ground, we're able to walk, bodily functions worked. You know, I mean, any day on the right side of the grass is a great day. So get happy. Smile. Get enthusiastic. Look, I'm telling you, people are attracted or not attracted to how you are, your countenance. Get happy. If you're waiting on circumstances to make you happy, you'll never be happy. I know, I tell you, I mean, I've been around, I spent a year in New York trying to get an IPO done. I know bitter billionaires. I know people that have got all the money you can imagine and are the most gnarly, cynical people you've ever met. And then I know the guy that does sheetrock work for me on my farm. Happiest human being on the planet. Got his own little business, doing great. You got to decide if your happiness comes from circumstances, you'll never be happy. You got to get happy now. We used to say, well, John, that's hard for me. I'm not naturally bubbly and happy like you. Well, then fool yourself. Smile. Act the way you want to feel, and soon you'll feel the way you act. So in closing, this is my challenge to you. Life is short, that quick. It seems like yesterday that I went off to college at the University of Georgia. I can remember it just as vividly. My mom and daddy dropping me off. It seems like yesterday my kids were born. They're 31 and 28 now. There are so many things that seem like yesterday. Time goes like that. It moves so fast. You're not going to get a do-over. This ain't a dress rehearsal for your life, at least not your life on this planet. This is your life. This is your time. What are you going to do with this scarce time you got? Quit holding yourself back. Let the brakes loose. Decide you're going to go for it, that you're going to pay the price, that if you get knocked down, you're going to get up. When my kids were little, they had Weebles. Remember those? Weebles wobble, but they bounce back up. You got to be a Weeble. When you get knocked down, get up. If you can see up, stand up. If you can move forward, keep moving forward. Fight like crazy, love like crazy, live like crazy, and go win big. because the bottom sure is crowded.